Welcome to Big Brother NSFW. It's week 9 in the Big Brother house. We're down to the final 6, and Jonny, Fairplay, and I are here to break it all down. And we're joined by very special Ronnie Talbot from BB11. Ronnie, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for having me on here, guys. I'm excited.
We talked right before we went live, and you said you expect this podcast to be more exciting than the actual episode. I felt like production was watching the football game too, and and that's where their interest lied. And then they're like, "Oh yeah, we also have to put on an episode on a Monday night at 10 p.m." So here it is.
Yeah, I'm not even into football, and when I woke up, I turned it on. I was like, "Oh, the game!" And I was like, "What?" Normally, I'm like, "I want to watch Big Brother," but no. Tonight, I was like, "What's going on in the game?"
Yeah, I think that was a shared interest across the world, because COVID finally reared its ugly head in the world of the NFL, and as a result, pushed Big Brother till 10 p.m. Eastern time
on Monday
for the first time, and then the Sunday night movie also showed reared its ugly head and pushed our coverage of Big Brother, or CBS's coverage, from Sunday to Monday. What an exciting world we live in.
Really strange world.
Yeah, in case you're wondering where Big Brother is now on CBS's priorities, it got moved for, what did they show? Clueless, and then it got moved for some COVID football. Good stuff. Yeah. Thanks, Cody. Thanks, Memphis. Great job.
COVID football with a backup quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
4 turnovers. Good stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
You know what? I will say this. It did disprove my theory that I was always a believer that the New England Patriots were not that good, and that anyone could throw the ball 8 yards. And I even professed that I could be a starting quarterback for the New England Patriots and throw the ball 8 yards. And that theory was disproven tonight. So I stand corrected. I apologize. So for anyone looking to draft me to your New England Patriots fantasy football starting team, do not, because we found out this evening that
they had a fill-in quarterback on the team.
Yeah, Cam Newton tested positive.
Well, that's kind of apropos, because we have some fill-in all-stars this season of Big Brother.
Wow, it's a recurring theme.
Ronnie, what are your thoughts on how this season's starting to wind down now?
I had some really high hopes going in. I mean, didn't we all? Let's be honest. We all had lofty goals of what the season was going to be like. All the good people went pre-jury.
Yeah. There you go. I do have to make a comment for those of you listening to the podcast. If you were to be watching, you would see in the background that Ronnie has a baby gate, and I'm guessing that's for an animal. And I just watched the animal easily jump over that gate.
No, it's for my 3-year-old son.
Okay, so it's not for the animal.
Nope, it's not for Molly. It's for Ben. It's for Ben.
Okay, I feel a little better, because because if that were the case, I think you need to check your Amazon returns and see if 30 days are up, because
on the other side of that, we're on the second floor, so on the other side of that are stairs that are pretty tall, and there's like a big drop off there. So even though he's 3 and he can walk the steps, it still makes me nervous.
Okay, so Molly the cat just died, hurling herself down a flight of stairs.
She is 22 years old, and she has survived the insults of Jeff Schroeder. Nothing is going to kill that damn cat, okay?
Wow. It's the same cat. That's awesome.
It's the same cat when Jeff said, whose fucking cat is that? It's the same cat.
There you go. Wow, nice callback.
Oh, that's so good.
Well, you were correct, Ronnie. This is already more exciting than the other. I will say this. We had on Thursday night the Triple Eviction, which was planned to be the most exciting episode of the season, if not the most exciting episode in the history of Big Brother. It did not live up to those claims. However, I did like seeing a behind-the-scenes look on what exactly transpired, because we were talking Thursday. Zack and I were we had Crazy James on, and I distinctly heard, I believe it was Enzo saying, I must have misheard Memphis, and that was that first vote with David and Nicole F. And that was what Enzo said, and that was Enzo using plausible deniability to not go along with the change in plans that Tyler and Christmas brought to the table, actually looking to make moves, and hey, truth be told, I mean, it's not like Enzo has been screaming, make big fucking moves. Oh, wait, I take that back. He has been saying that, and then given the opportunity, he chose not to.
Yes. He's all talk. I mean,
it's a lot of talk.
That really pisses me off. It really pisses me off, because I promise you, I can't speak for myself, but I know a few other people, if they had been asked back, I wouldn't be afraid to make big moves. They wouldn't have been afraid to make big moves. I mean, you have a winner sitting on the block against someone who went home day one, literally day one, and he has shown himself to not really have a grasp on the game.
Oh, are you really?
Who do you get rid of? Who do you get rid of? Nicole, duh.
Yeah. So, no, I mean, the crazy thing is I don't think Enzo knows how pretty he's sitting, but I don't think he did that to make himself stay seated pretty. I think he did it out of cowardice.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with you 1,000,000%.
Yeah. I think if he had it's just like, I'm winning I don't think he knows how we see this. So we can sit here and look and just like, fuck. I'm like, Enzo can easily win this fucking game. I don't think Enzo sees that.
Well, when he was talking about it, he said, that's not my move. That ain't my move. You're allowed to make more than one over the course of the game, first of all. Number two, I actually came around on it a little bit. I think he might have made a decent move getting rid of David. It's not as bad as I was saying last week, getting a little bit of hindsight, but I don't think he made it for the right reasons. I think you're right that he didn't make the move out of cowardice, but I actually think it might have been smart, because I think Enzo's best shot is getting taken to the end by Cody or Memphis and being the more likable option.
But he already wants Memphis gone. He doesn't see that he can beat Memphis. He doesn't see that he can beat Cody.
Exactly.
No, you're right. I think he's making the right moves for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
And this is the same noise we've heard from Enzo since season 12.
Yep.
Oh man, he puts on this persona. I tweeted tonight. He puts on this persona of this like mafia-esque. I'm a hitman. And I'm going to make the moves. He's not making any moves. He's
like who? Name a character on Sopranos that like wanted that top spot but never really went for it.
Big pussy.
Maybe. Well, Janelle called him a
meow.
He is the meow meow. Janelle called him a bitch on Twitter on Thursday night.
I mean, if the name fits. I mean, I just expected him after 12 to go in there, and I really thought when he won that HOH and that veto, we were going to see this game from him. I expected him to make big moves.
I did too.
You know what I mean? I really thought he's going to actually be like the Iceman this time, and he's going to be the hitman and the actual enforcer rather than just sitting back and letting everyone else get their hands dirty.
Yeah, but as I said, he's in a great spot. But I just I don't think his perception of and you know what, I think this week could do more damage to Enzo's game than the entirety of the game does up until now.
Oh yeah, 100%. I hate to say it, but at least through Cody's, I don't like what Cody did last week. I don't like that Cody won HOH. I don't like Cody. I want Cody to lose. Let me be very clear on that. But, and I think this is what we were kind of hinting at with Enzo. At least through Cody's DRs tonight, I was like, I see a little bit of method to the madness I hate. I don't like it, but at least I have to admit Cody did make good moves for his game.
Yeah.
But I think Enzo didn't make moves for Enzo's game. Enzo made moves for Memphis's and Cody's games.
Yeah, I have disliked Cody. I dislike Cody coming into the game. I've disliked Cody for the majority of the game, and I think I'm with you, Ronnie. Like I'm sitting here watching the final stages of the game, and I think I like what Cody's doing better than anyone else still in that house.
Like I feel like I don't like either of them, especially for the Ian crap. Like that really doesn't sit well with me still. It never will sit well with me.
Well, it didn't take place on the actual CBS broadcast, so it doesn't really count, Ronnie, is that?
But like,
even though TMZ covered it, and that,
right. In terms of the game,
and 6% of the fans that watch the live feeds, and
I don't know how you couldn't
2% that are still watching.
Yeah, I don't know how people. That was one of the biggest things to happen. I don't know how you couldn't, and I don't know how they could have been okay with them saying that about Ian and Memphis impersonating him and everything. That's just, it has nothing to do with the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Cody and Memphis, if you take all that crap out about how they're just wildly unlikable for all the myriad of reasons, I think they're the most deserving final two.
Yeah. Well, I would tell you the story about how me and Memphis are friends, but as I've been reminded on the YouTube comments, I believe I've told that story every other episode of this podcast. So I'm gonna leave that out, but I am
next episode.
Yeah. So everyone tune in Thursday.
I haven't seen Memphis since 2009 in Vegas when he and Keisha were splashing me and Danny Donato in the pool. I haven't seen them in 11 years.
There you go. Why were they splashing you? I
think they were just drunk and having fun.
All right.
Because Danny was like, "What the hell?" and they just didn't even respond. So they were wasted.
This is one of my favorite Memphis stories.
I was just like, okay.
Well, another player that we dig into a little bit as we're kind of flashing back to what happened during the triple was Nicole. I think we saw a lot of the fallout from the triple through Nicole's eyes. She was on brand whining throughout this entire episode. How bad of a spot is she in? She was on the block twice. Her ally Danny went home. Is she screwed, or is she still just going to coast?
I think she has okay, hear me out, because my wife and I were talking about this. I think she might have a path to the end. I really do. I think she might have a path there. We're allowed with saying spoilers, right? Like you aren't a spoiler-free podcast, or
well, no, we talk up until everything you've seen on tonight's episode till we get to the commercials, and then after the commercials, we talk live feeds.
Okay, all right. Well, then I'll wait till there.
Yeah. But anything that's happened, live feed or whatever wise, up until the end of this episode, you can discuss.
Okay, sounds good. Well, I'll circle back to that. But I think Nicole, I think she does have a path to the end, because I think they're going to tell themselves she's already won. No one's going to give her the money twice, but I think they're wrong.
Yeah, it's a proven track record that works, and there's no chance of a winner repeating. I don't know if anyone watching is familiar with the game of Sandra Diaz Twine, but she too does absolutely nothing and made it to the end, and then won, and then made it to the end again, and then won again. So, I you know what? I stand corrected. You can do exactly what Nicole is doing, 1,000%. And
for the same reasons, well, Sandra was, had other reasons too, but Nicole could win for the sheer reason that you sit there and you say, but we could have gotten rid of her and we didn't.
Yeah, well, that's the exact same reasons for Sandra.
She had to do something right,
and equally as incompetent in challenges or competitions.
So who does Nicole need to sit next to? I mean, Sandra in Survivor got, Big Lil served up on a platter, and then she got the hatred and vote splitting that came towards Russell and Parvati. Yeah. Who does Nicole need to have?
I think Nicole wins sitting against anyone other than Tyler.
Wow.
I'm gonna call it.
So you're expecting the jury to be kind of bitter towards Cody, Memphis?
Oh, we're going to have a bitter jury.
Okay.
I smell the bitter jury.
I still feel Memphis is in an okay spot.
Memphis is in an okay spot, but here's the thing about it. Already, I think Ian would not be bitter, as we saw from his exit. Yeah. But Davon will vote for Nicole over Memphis. So wouldn't Kevin. So wouldn't Danny. And so wouldn't David. That's one vote from winning.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's close.
Yeah. It just takes one vote. Those four, though, I'm telling you, in a Memphis versus Nicole Final 2 are locked in. They are voting for Nicole. I promise you. Nothing that happens the rest of the game will matter.
Yeah, and I could see if Memphis burned Cody, I could see Cody voting for Nicole. They're clearly close and working together.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was disgusted with Nicole's comments about Tyler. I'm not a Tyler fan and never will be. However, I will admit this about the guy. And when I say I'm not Tyler, I mean, like, it's not a bad, I just don't, he's Joey Amazing. He's Ozzy. He's he's that same character. And I'm friends with Ozzy, I didn't want to like Joey Amazing in real life. And let's not talk about Joey Amazing, in 2020, but 2019, I met the guy, nice guy. And he's listened to the podcast and he's just like, hey, heard the words. very, very familiar with. Still, a respectful, nice guy to me, and in return, a respectful, nice guy to him. Tyler was at the same event. Couldn't be bothered to interact with anyone other than people that would tell him how great he was. And hey, I understand. Fresh off your season, you have your worshipers. Enjoy that time. Who knows how long that'll last.
I've never actually met Tyler, but he is. It's funny you say I never really thought about it, but he's that same type of archetype, if you will.
Yeah.
He's just a kind of a surfer dude, kind of bro.
Yeah, but here's what I will say about Tyler, and I think he's an honest guy. I mean, you watch the show, he's on it, and to have Nicole is just like everything he said. I just know you're lying. I'm just like, you're the liar. Your entire game has been a lie. You won't embrace it. You won't accept it, and you won't admit it.
That's what I want Nicole to do. I want Nicole to own her lies. I want her to just step up to the plate as someone who's a member of the Big Brother villain, club. I want her to step up and say, "Yeah, I'm lying. It's Big Brother. That's what we do."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I don't think she would do that in a final jury speech, and I think she loses it by not owning it in that final jury speech as well.
That's true. She could, but man, wouldn't it be interesting to see her flip it and be like, "I played you all. I came in here."
I don't see that in her.
It'd be amazing though. But
because she would lose all of her sponsors.
Oh, she doesn't know they're already gone. That's right. That's right. She doesn't know they're already gone.
She doesn't know that they're all gone. If only someone would I'm not a fan of production, giving the Iggy, hey, maybe you want to. I hate that. I'm very anti that. However, in this instance, I would be all for it's just as soon as it's just like, hey, Nicole, trust me. That ship has sailed.
Well, maybe the wall yellers. Get some of the wall yellers on this. Tell her her sponsorships are done. She can play the villain. Go for it.
I don't see the wall yellers helping Nicole's game. I think that's I think Evil Dick. Well, I had to see it through my Survivor NSFW Twitter account since Evil Dick has blocked me. But they're just like, what do you want the wall yellers to yell next? It's like Vincent has canceled the wedding.
I told my wife I wanted the wall yell to go, "Nicole, you're broke. He took all the money and left. You have no money."
She does. She is not going to be happy when she gets out of the house.
Oh no! You thought you saw tears now? Just wait.
We're gonna the ones coming up after the show will be real. That will be the difference.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be on the live Zoom calls that they do. Right? See, this is the when I wish we still had the backyard interviews, right? Because that's when you got the good crap. Like they're in the backyard, and I can see Rob Sesternino. So you have no sponsors for your wedding. Did you know that?
Yeah.
So, what? Oh yeah. The Ian thing, not a good look.
Oh wow! So I didn't even think about that. So she lost the. I mean, I just thought about the financial hit that she took, with the sponsors. But her wedding was pretty much 100% sponsored as well.
Oh yeah, it's all. From what I understand, it's a lot of it is not sponsored.
You think they backed out? I mean, because from what I saw, Janelle, I believe, did a cameo or something, and she broke down all the wedding sponsors, and they sound like pretty shit sponsors. So,
I don't know who it was.
I figured they. I mean, what else did they have?
But then again, I'm like, you won Big Brother 18. You should have been able to afford your wedding.
Yeah, you live in Michigan. Like the cost of living's fine. Come on.
It's very comparable to here. You'll be fine. You got a lot of money.
Yeah, so, plus all the guests are spending $3,000. Maybe now it's $5,000 after the sponsors are gone.
How great will that be? She increases the price.
That'd be some crap.
So how does that work? She charges $3,000 to go to her wedding?
I don't know the exact details, but I've heard different stories. I've heard that it's like a destination thing, like a sandals type resort that they're going to, not like it's on the beach or whatever.
Sure.
But I don't know because I'm not Nicole's friend. I'm not invited. Yeah. So I have no idea. I'd spill the tea if I did know. I don't know.
Okay, let's just say for argument's sake you were invited. Right? Would you sell your invitation on eBay?
And then donate the money to autism foundations.
There you go.
You could do that or keep it.
I donate to autism foundations because of what she did.
Okay, that's a sweet move on your part. I, on the other hand, would salute autism, and we do have a question from the chat here, Ronnie. I would love to hear what you feel. Michael Biatch. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly, but I like to feel like I did. He might be related to Enzo, according to Janelle in her Twitter. Michael asks, do you think these remaining characters, players disgrace all of those who have shed blood, sweat, and tears to have success in the past?
I'm going to say that because it's consistent with everything I've said. I really don't agree with what the game has become. I think it is a disgrace to old school Big Brother because it's, some people decide on their own where the delineation is between old school and new school. I think 14 is the last of the old school, 15 is the first of the new school. But in old school, you would switch your alliances up possibly week to week. You'd say, okay, well, I'm getting along with this person, but now I'm going to make a move. And now it's like all about super happy, fun summer camp. Yeah. And they just want to form this alliance of 10 and write it out.
Oh, hold on. I maybe I should have had the follow-up. And Michael Biatch, he did not mean the blood, sweat, and tears on Nicole's period. I guess.
Michael Biatch, how dare you?
I think it's the name. All right, Bob writes, worst season ever. I don't think that's the question. I don't.
Oh man, the chat is not loving it.
Man, I kind of can't wait to see the reaction to being told it's universally disliked.
Yeah, I did see on the feeds, this isn't a spoiler in any way, but they were talking about how the season's being received, and Christmas seemed pretty sure that it's going over very well, and it's been quite an entertaining season.
Well, she has a pretty good read on her character as well.
Yes, very self-aware, good old Xmas.
Yeah, so I think Groundhog Day, everything tracks from beginning to end.
They are so bad on their reads this season. I mean, practically universally. Yeah. Everyone's just like, and having lived in the house, I don't know how you can have that bad of a read. I literally don't know.
Danny did say she perceived America hating this.
Yes.
And but she followed it with, it was the most fun she ever had playing Big Brother. And I was like, is not playing Big Brother fun?
Well, I mean, she has to feel comfortable until that last eviction in the triple. I mean,
yeah.
But see, conversely, Kevin, gosh, Kevin's my friend. I love him dearly, but I kind of liked seeing him have to actually work.
Yeah.
Because my season, he didn't have to work. Myself and others, we did the work for him. He literally never even faced a vote until the final 3 because no one was ever worried about him. He was not a worry. Mm-hmm. So
wow. Okay, so do you consider him an all-star?
Yeah, I mean, I consider them all all-stars but then again,
well, and David.
Well, my definition of all-stars, just someone who played previously. That's why.
That's a pretty shit definition of all-star, Ronnie.
Well, but that's why.
Are you opening the doors for you and someone that thought about playing?
I like what Survivor does. I think Big Brother should do more of, if they're going to do like a season like this, they need to be much more specific on the theme they're picking.
Yeah, I mean, like game changers. I mean, like, it's. I will give Jeff Probst credit with this because, like, there were some people on Game Changers that were not game changers, and Jeff, went back and was just like, and by game changers we mean people that change the game, and if given the opportunity to play a different way, would have really changed. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Jeff Probst is every English student I've had in high school English class that like didn't read the book and is writing the most bullshit essay on why these themes work.
Yes. So, Ghost Island. There are no ghosts.
I wish they had done something like Most Loved versus Second Chances, or
I get that with alumni.
Yeah.
Alumni meets your criteria, Ronnie, not all-stars.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, but I think, though, the thing about it is and we've talked about this, we kind of moved into this other. All right, when we had the first All-Star season of Big Brother, and we had the first All-Star season for Survivor, All-Stars meant, like, the best players. The best. It did. Mm-hmm. But I think because of constantly bringing back different shows, bringing back alumni, I think we've expanded what is generally considered to be an all-stars. I don't
think we have. I think CBS has. I don't think we have.
Well, I mean, it depends. I mean, I see what you're saying, and I agree with you. If you're going to say all-stars, it should have been like the best from each season. It should have been.
Yeah, but just give this shit a different name. It, like fucking Big Brother Corona. Like I'm fine with that.
Right.
Like, here's the people that don't have someone that they could potentially kill when they get home.
I've seen people on Twitter call it Big Brother 22. This is who said yes.
Yeah.
Call it the yes season. Like it's just like, what does that mean? It's like, take it how you will.
But if you think about it from 11, like sticking to Kevin, really, Twitter has they've always come back to me almost universally with the same 2 names over and over again. They said that when they heard about the All-Stars, they said there were only 2 people from your season we knew would be on here, either Kevin or yourself. They said those were the 2 people that it was one of you guys that was going to be on there. Because Jeff and Jordan have already been on there. They're not going to do it again. They're just not. And for various reasons, everyone else would either say no or wouldn't be asked.
All right, so getting back to Kevin, he was fiery on your season.
Yes, because and I've been reading some again because he's my friend. I've been reading some of his exit interviews. I don't read anyone else's exit interviews because I don't really care what they have to say. I'm being honest. But
I have yet to read a single X interview, so I like not only do I agree, I'll go one step further. I won't read his.
They're all just revisionist history. Like I saw Danny's just redoing everything to make her look like the hero and everything. Whatever.
Well, that doesn't shock me. But I will say Kevin has been pretty honest. Kevin has said he wasn't good this season. Kevin has said he hasn't seen anything, so he could have been completely off in how he read the house. I mean, he's being pretty honest, I feel. He's calling himself out. But the one question I was like, I really wanted to ask was something to the effect of, how do you think this time differed from your first time? Because it was very different houses. Very different houses.
Yes.
And he hit the nail on the head.
One was a good show.
He hit the nail on the head where he said, my first time through, everyone spoke their mind and they weren't afraid to stand up and be explosive. He said, everyone this time is super fake and just wants to blend in. And I was like, there you go.
Yeah, and we saw a little bit of that on Winners at War. I mean, you can claim this isn't, the greatest of a potential all-star season, but go and look at Survivor 40. It was 20 winners, and you had a lot of people take a backseat, just like lay low, and and let me, like, even Tony, Tony, who played eventually one of the greatest single U.S. Survivor games of all time, laid low. And we had Ian, who who I think a lot of people, was like their underdog favorite, previous winner underdog favorite, saying he's just like, hey, I did the math, I know the game. The smart and only move for me was to lay low, which I agree with that to some degree, but he also incorporated playing dumb, and it's just like, motherfucker, we've seen you play.
He could never play dumb. Yeah, I don't understand that. He could never play dumb. He's not dumb. He's smart.
Yes. I mean, he's borderline genius.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
How does borderline genius play dumb? Like, that's dumb.
Yeah, he should have just laid low long enough to form a solid. He never really tried to form a solid alliance.
Yeah, he just sat. He sat back, laid low, played dumb, did nothing.
Yeah.
Versus, play smart, lay low, and maneuver and look for cracks. And I never felt that he did the the last 8 things that you need to do if you're in that position.
Right.
And I feel like he's a smart enough player to do that. As I said, I understand the sit back. So, but at the same time, Zack and I talked with Luke Toki on Survivor from Survivor Australia, who he was talking about the Golden Gods game on Australian Survivors All Stars, and their philosophy is guns fucking blazing from the fucking beginning. That's how you play that fucking game. And it's just, and I'm just like, well, what about that? And he had a counter for every fucking argument that I had and that I've ever heard. And I'm just like, wow. I'm like, is this the way? Like, because I've thought about on a possible Survivor return. Where's do I sit back and I had kind of I would never play dumb. But I might lay low a little bit, and then I'm hearing these 2 geniuses of their version of Survivor, which is the same fucking game that we play on in the US. Well, in Fiji, we all play in Fiji apparently. And I'm just like, they got a point. And then watching Ian, who I consider one of the greatest players ever, to make that fatal mistake. I'm just like, maybe guns blazing is the way to go.
And that was Dr. Will coming back in All Stars too, right? Dr. Will's like, I've got a big target. I'm going to make it so fucking big you don't even realize you're looking at it.
Exactly. Yeah. That's how I know. My wife said this about when I was on 11. I made the target on my back really big week 2, and at that moment I was like, I just got to make it so huge that I might just come out this other side. And if I had survived that week, 2 weeks later, I would have been. I believe 100% I would have made final 2 because I was off everyone's radars except Russell's. Everyone's. if I'd somehow made it past that. And that's what I feel like Ian should have done, because there is a statistical advantage, like you're talking about, Jonny, with the guns blazing. There is a statistical advantage in keeping people in their back heels. Make them have to be reactionary. Don't let them try and think up something. Make them react to you.
There you go. Well, with that, Zach, let's get a word from our sponsors. This episode is brought to you by Fracture. Fracture turns your digital images into beautiful glass prints. That's right, they print your photos directly on glass, transforming your memories into handcrafted, frameless prints. Like this one. The one behind me, I have the Survivor NSFW logo with me, Matt, and Zach. Oh my God, it's the coolest thing. I'm so excited to have this in my life. Zach, tell us more about Fracture.
Yeah, Fracture helps you focus on the moments that matter most by turning your favorite memories into beautiful glass prints like that one. Fracture prints directly on really durable glass that has soft edges for safe handling. The prints come in multiple sizes, and there's no frame required at all to mount it on the wall. And each print comes with a 100% happiness guarantee. That means if for any reason you don't love your print, Fracture is going to make it right. The glass prints also make unique gifts for your friends and family that they'll never forget. Jonny, can you tell them how they can save?
Yeah, but before I do, I received this huge box with my Fracture print in it. At the bottom, there's even a screw to go into the wall. These guys are ready for this. Like, it's no additional mounting. There's none of that. This thing is ready to rock and roll. And boom, Fracture prints look incredible. You really have to see it to believe it. Upload your photo at fractureme.com/survivor to print your photo on glass today. And we have a special deal, and here's what we got. Go to fractureme.com. That's fractureme.com/survivor. Enter promo code SURVIVOR, and you get 20% off your order.
That's fractureme.com/survivor with promo code SURVIVOR, and you save 20% off your Fracture glass print. We thank Fracture for sponsoring this episode of Survivor NSFW.
Let's talk about something we could all use more of right now. Sex. Great sex. Now look, I love sex, Zach. I don't know about you. It's my favorite. It's my favorite. And I don't like a little bit of sex. I like a whole lot of sex. And so, guys, now you can increase your performance and get that extra confidence in bed. Listen up, BlueChew.com. That's blue like the color blue.
Blue Chew brings you the first chewable with the same FDA-approved active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis.
Now, you can take them anytime, day or night, even on a full stomach, so you can be ready whenever an opportunity arises.
Not only that, Blue Chew is made in the USA. It's prescribed online by licensed physicians, so you don't have to go to the doctor or wait in line. It's even cheaper than a pharmacy, and they prepare and ship it right to you in a discreet package. No awkwardness, and you don't even have to leave the house.
Now, if you could benefit from more confidence where it counts, Blue Chew is the fast and easy way to enhance your performance. Guys, this isn't me reading ad copy here. This is Jonny Fairplay. When he knows action is about to go down, I grab the Blue Chew, I peel it open, chew it up, and I go, get ready, we're going to Pound Town. Someone is going over. Someone is winning a championship tonight. That's right. And that could be you, because right now we've got a special deal for our listeners. Visit BlueChew.com and get your first shipment free when you use our special promo code SURVIVOR. Just pay the $5 shipping. Again, that's BlueChew.com, BlueChew.com. Use promo code SURVIVOR to try it for free. Blue Chew is the better, cheaper choice, and we thank them for sponsoring the podcast. And remember, when you support our sponsors, you help this podcast be possible. So please use our promo code SURVIVOR at BlueChew.com. And don't forget, when you take a Blue Chew and you take a picture of your hashtag super hard dick, slip into Ronnie Talbot's DMs.
Don't do that.
At Ronnie Talbot. Is that your Twitter?
That is my Twitter.
Okay, so yeah, send your pictures of your hashtag super hard.
Stay out of the DM.
Ronnie will appreciate that.
I have enough. 2020's brought enough nonsense. I don't need any more.
Well, before we get into this week's HOH comp, which I was a big fan of,
it's kind of .com right now. He's not promo code Survivor, Ronnie.
There you go. One thing we didn't talk about as the show was kind of taking us back through the triple was the Danny vote, and there was a lot of bickering and tension and shit talking as the vote was going down. I was surprised to see that. I thought it was really cool to see what that was actually like because that's normally all muted out. Ronnie, how common is that for conversation?
One of the rules is no talking once voting starts.
Wow, just like Survivor.
Yep, no talking once voting starts.
Wow.
I actually tweeted tonight. I said, "Man, watching these clips just shows me how dumb I was to do no shout outs, singing, swearing, or talking after the vote begins. Clearly, there are no consequences for these actions."
No, well, and if they're good enough, you get highlights on the next episode.
Clearly,
yeah. So yeah, epic fail, Ronnie.
A moment lost. Truly.
Hey, if they do Survive or Big Brother, people that could be on a show or know people that could be on a show, All Stars, then work.
Maybe I'll get my chance. Maybe.
Work that in. You now know the real rules of the game.
Yes. Oh yeah.
That honestly, I'm a little shocked that they didn't actually air that on the live feed or on the Triple Eviction.
Yeah, I mean, but then again, though, the thing about it is the feeds went down. I think they're down for 8 hours. So what we saw as a live whatever, I think actually took place over the span of like 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah, that's what the rumor and innuendo has been for. I mean, so do you think this suspension of live feeds going into the Triple Eviction was kind of a way to mask that they weren't exactly doing a Triple Eviction in real time? Because weekly up to there was no live feeds, no live feeds. So it's like they kind of set a precedent.
Well, this has happened before, not with the triple, but every season they have what they call a fast forward. They call them fast forward. Right. That's what happens in these. Like they'll go down, they'll be the one, and then they'll film it, and then it'll be, you know what I mean? So I kind of thought, if you think logistically, they had to do it that way because they have to break down the comps. They have to reset. They have to do all those things. Which
they reuse the comps. I mean, ridiculously reuse the comps.
But for the first,
they gave it our second HOH and POV comps were the worst excuses of recycling that we've seen possibly in the history of the game.
Hey, but they didn't drag them out. We just saw them go quick, done. They didn't edit in 15 diary rooms to make it drag out.
The thing, though, and I'm sure this happens on Survivor too, is what people don't realize is when we do those competitions, of course, we get our chance to ask a million different questions.
Sure.
Rules clarifications and is this okay? And which I always hated that because I would never air my possible strategies because I was always afraid if I did, someone else might hear me or they would hear me. Yeah. And then that might tip them off. Oh crap, I should do that too.
So you just didn't ask?
I just didn't ask. I just did. It's always better to beg for forgiveness than ask permission.
See, I did so on Survivor, Jeff would be today's challenge where blah 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 blah, and then then there's a pause, and then he says it slow so that we're okay, now we know what the fuck he's actually talking about, and then he would pick one person from each tribe to do a walkthrough, and so the person for my tribe every time was me, and the person for the other tribe was Andrew Savage. So we'd walk, and Andrew Savage and Jeff Probst became immediately best friends, and I felt like the third wheel on a date of just wow, I just actually feel uncomfortable. And then they're, I was like, what's your favorite song? And I'm like, what the fuck?
He's gonna have it playing later.
Yeah, and so so I'm sitting there and I'm walking and I'm not saying a fucking word because I'm just like, I do have questions, but I don't need Savage to hear those questions and more importantly those answers.
Right.
And so we do the walkthrough and then we get done and they're like, okay. And then I was like, Jeff, can I have a second? And he's like, sure. And I was like, Jeff, can you throw and he was like, you can throw logs. And I'm like, motherfucker. Like, the whole reason I didn't ask you a question while we were walking on this awkward date was because
So I have a funny type of thing that I know the fans would love to see, but when we were in the house, there was a competition we did for Have-Nots where we drove these beer kegs. They were like, those kid battery controlled cars, battery cars, it was like those. And so they said before we drove them to begin with, they had us all try them out, right? Yeah. Well, Shima was the first one to go. So Maiko, the competition guy, he was like, all right, Shima, and Shima, I need you to try the beer keg. She gets on it, and it didn't get Kevin tried his, and Jordan tried hers, and it worked fine. And then they asked Shima to try ours, and it didn't work. Shima blows the hell up. She's like, my shit isn't working, Mike O. Why are you fucking with me? And all you heard over the radio back goes, Shima. She's like, I am tired of this. Like she is, and you hear Mike, Shima, I am not fucking with you. That's all you hear. It was so funny, but that's the type of boring stuff that happens.
All right, fair. Well, I mean, I'll give still, we saw the same two fucking challenges back to back.
They just reversed them
back to back.
Yeah, we did see a new one tonight. I loved the stripping yoga challenge, which I didn't realize this is what my wife was doing when she went to yoga classes. This is a little strange.
What's worse is I teach your wife's yoga class.
Oh, very cool.
I wouldn't use the word cool if I were you.
No, as Tyler came out wearing a full outfit of Tangela exclusives. I think they sell all of that stuff at Angela's website.
I was about to say, I felt like that came from his suitcase and not part of the.
I almost didn't even notice he was dressed strangely when he came out. He was so into that vibe. Yeah. I really liked this. I got a question for you guys. Which house guest who's left in the house has experienced getting undressed in the most unusual compromising situation in the past and had some practice?
Is there any doubt? It's Cody. That's why he won.
Yeah. Well, we did have the line of the night from Nicole. No matter how hard she tugged on her pants, they would.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, if anyone has experience with tugging, I felt Nicole. That this was Nicole's challenge or competition to win.
Yeah. BB Twitter said Nicole couldn't get her pants off. There's a joke there.
Yeah. But she actually used the word tug, and I was like, oh, that girl.
Yeah. The Princess Tuggy.
Yeah.
She also chose a pose where she was had her feet up and her hands down, doing a plank. I don't know what she was doing. There was such an easier way.
Yeah.
I just felt she just I felt her performance on the competition was just made for Evil Dick to tweet about.
She certainly made that easy though.
Yes, and that recurring theme with her gameplay.
Yeah, I kept joking. I mean, I would have just because they have said several times this season, "Oh, Nicole doesn't have a showman's. Nicole doesn't have a showman's." And my wife said, "Oh, Ronnie, you're terrible." I said I kept wanting someone to get in the fridge, like, "Hey, Nicole, I found your showman's," and to pull out a raw hot dog because she is missing a showman's.
Yeah, maybe that's a sign she won't win.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Cody wins another HOH, and he's approaching a record for competition wins this season. Which good for Cody, but man, they're burying him with these Cody's a dumbass edits this season.
Yeah,
he makes it so easy for them. I mean, he is an idiot. I just don't understand.
This is why we have you here, Ronnie, for the expert commentary that you bring to the table.
Well, he says the same thing to everyone. That's the other thing why I don't know why people in there don't catch on to him more.
Mm-hmm.
He's transparent. He's playing the exact same way he played in 16. I mean, take out Memphis and it's Derek.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same. I mean, I will say that I think he's smarter than he leads on.
In what way?
I think socially. I mean, and I do believe there's a difference, for the record, between book smarts and street smarts.
I think he was coached up well for this.
Yeah, which is, I mean, when you have your alliance set up.
Well, I mean, that helps immensely. But in addition, I feel that he was coached up. I mean, like, I think of all the people going in doing Big Brother homework, I think maybe he was reading a book with shorter words, but I think he did do his homework going in.
I think that's fair. I would agree. That's fair.
Yeah.
So do we think he like Derek wrote his final Jerry speech on the back of his hand? Like, has he washed his hands all season? Is he pulling a Jerry and just not washing his? Oh yeah, well, I don't know. We'll see. He's going to be bad in front of a Jerry.
That's what the tattoo was on his side that we saw. It was the Cliff's Notes version of the speech. He's going to look in the mirror and be like,
oh, that's good.
If I had the opportunity to look in a mirror while I was giving a final jury speech, I like my chances. I mean, I just like me. So there's that.
See, but you don't have a lot of mirrors on Survivor. We have mirrors all around us in that house. So if you're in the final two, you just look straight ahead to either side and you got mirrors.
There you go. See? Yeah.
Turns out to be a good strategy. Good thinking, Cody. So his nominations are going to be Tyler and Christmas. Do we think this is smart? Cody initially wants to target Christmas, and he seems to be leaning a little towards Tyler after that. Who should he be going for here?
It probably should be Tyler.
I think 1,000% Tyler. Yeah. No content. I mean, like I think Grandpa Memphis is pretty good at challenges, but he's not Tyler. And if it's coming down to anyone in this final stretch, I'm winning, or competitions. Sorry, it's the Survivor in me. If there's anyone that's going to win competitions, that's not Cody. It's
Memphis and Tyler.
Yeah, like those. And so I say you eliminate your strongest competition wise.
Well, I think every competition has been won by either Memphis, Tyler, Cody, Christmas, Enzo. All the HOHs have.
Yeah. Well, so but let's say you subtract Tyler from the equation. I think Christmas runs to Cody in that same role that she's run to Tyler too. So
yeah.
So he had. I mean,
she flocks to power. Yeah.
Yeah. So and he's got to know. As I said, I think he's a guy that's done his homework going into the season. I think he can see her gameplay.
So, do you think she would go that way more than the wise guys deal?
I mean, she's a wise. She's the other wise guy by proxy, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I said this tonight earlier, if she wins HOH this Thursday, next week just is a huge monkey wrench. That's the only thing they'll throw a monkey wrench in their game mainly at this point. Because I think there's the very strong potential. She finds out from Cody. Cody comes clean to Christmas in that scenario and tells her that Enzo told him there's about the both of the other
guys. Yeah.
To save her ass. And that'd be such a smart move on Christmas's behalf Like that would be so smart of her
Yeah.
because then, or I mean, Cody.
Cody, that'd be a smart move on his part. I don't see her running with that information, but I
no, but
see Cody doing
would.
it.
Yes, and in that scenario, 100%, Christmas puts up Memphis and Enzo.
Did you just call Christmas Krampus?
Yeah, I did. Krampus.
It's not. She's also
The Germanic
Xmas.
She is an Xmas. Hey, we just need to be glad there's no cars to drive in that house. They could all be in serious danger.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the car driving incident. To be honest with you, I wouldn't have cast her if she didn't do it. So I mean, for everyone, it's just like she shouldn't be there because I'm just like fuck.
Well, I'm not saying she shouldn't be there. I'm just saying. She's a train wreck.
Okay, Ronnie, if you're casting a fucking reality show, don't you cast the person that fucking tried vehicular manslaughter on someone that did not go to jail for it? They're allowed to still be living amongst us. That's
is this the Amazing Race where they'll have access to cars, or are we like
no. So I mean, fuck, I put on the Amazing Race. I don't care. I mean, I just like good TV. I think for what Christmas was cast to bring to the table, I think she's delivered in spades.
Well, yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, you know as well as I do, CBS picks people because they think, well, this person's going to provide this part of the puzzle.
Yep.
That person's going to provide part of the puzzle. And I was told after I was voted off, they said, well, Ronnie, we expected backstabbing manipulation, and you didn't disappoint. That is literally what they said. I was like, okay.
Yeah. So no, I like, honestly, of the people cast to do what they were supposed to do on this all-star season, and for those of you not watching, I did do quotation marks, she's delivered probably better than anyone else.
Yeah, I think there's a case for that. Yeah,
not in the way she thinks she is, but
no.
But
I mean, but you know, but that's.
But doesn't it make it better? Like let's play devil's advocate. Doesn't it make it better? Because nothing annoys me greater than someone that is all fakey and you know what I mean, and like acting away and thinking they're putting on this act rather than just authentically being.
Well, I think that's been the problem with about 10 of these people. And part of the reason they've been playing so scared is they know that they're going to be perceived a certain way. They know they're under scrutiny and they're playing it cool, playing it safe so that they're not ruffling any feathers. They're not getting any judgment thrown their way. We saw that with Kevin. We saw that with a number of people. I think Kevin just vocalized it better than a lot of other folks.
Yeah, see, not me. If I'd been in there, my first DR says like, "Hi, America, buckle up. I'm driving this bus straight to hell." That would be my first diving session.
Wow, we were robbed of that one. That would be a great opener.
All right. So before we finish, let's spoiler alert. Let's talk. We're talking from what's happened at the end of tonight's episode, going into to this week's activities. What have I missed on the live feeds, Ronnie and Zack?
They're going for Tyler. I mean, which is the good move. I mean, it kind of seemed like maybe after the veto was won and the feeds came back, it kind of seemed like maybe.
Okay, who won the veto? Sorry.
Well, you know how there was all that buildup that Nicole doesn't win comps. She needs to do anything to help her alliance out. Cody won the veto.
Okay. Well, no, but I thought Nicole was going to do it because she needed it.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I was hoping Enzo was going to win. Well, Enzo and Tyler, see, I want to see a DR on the next episode because Enzo has to explain this fucking comment to me. I deserve this. He talked to Tyler, and there's a conversation where he said, "I need you to stay in this house. You can't leave this house because they want you gone, and that's catastrophic for my game." And I don't know if that's him playing scared that Tyler might stay and he wants to stay good with Tyler, or if he really meant that, because he's right. I think Enzo's the next target after Tyler leaves. I do.
I don't know. I think they all think they can beat Enzo. And I think they're all wrong. But I think they all think they can. But as I said, Enzo did himself no favors this week. And I could see him digging the hole even bigger going into the last few weeks. Like if he just kept doing what he was doing, I mean, like he wasn't making big moves, and now he's like big moves that I'm not making.
Well, so let's say Christmas wins the HOH next week. Okay. Let's say she puts up Memphis and Enzo. The same conversation happens. Well, Cody's going to vote out Enzo, and Nicole's going to vote out Memphis if the nomination stays the same. Thus, we have a tie for the first time this season.
That'd be fun.
It would be fun. And 100% Christmas is going to vote to evict Enzo because she's too closer to Memphis. So that's how Enzo loses.
I'm for it.
Yeah.
I mean,
man, I don't see a lot of good scenarios for Memphis for Enzo going forward.
Yeah.
Other than if he's at the end, I think he'll do well at the end, but I don't see a lot of paths for him to get there.
And how did because Memphis, well, we didn't see any of this throughout the season. We had Julie Chen Moonves tell us each and every week that Memphis was controlling the game, but it seems like Memphis was kind of odd man out on tonight's episode. From according to everyone. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. He made a mistake not getting rid of Nicole. Listen, everyone on Twitter, you can bite me because they're telling me that no, it was a great move that Enzo kept Nicole. No, it was bad for this very reason. He's now in a bad position because of it. I mean, it could very easily go poorly for him. Whereas if he had gotten rid of Nicole and kept David, he could have gone with David, Danny. He would have taken Tyler. He could have taken Christmas. That would have been 5-7.
He had a lot more openings.
Cody and Memphis were odd man out in that. All of a sudden, Enzo's sitting pretty. And think about it. Let's say Cody or Memphis won that HOH. Are they going after Enzo out of these 5? Hell no. No. Yeah. They need Enzo even more now with Nicole going.
Yeah, he's their best shot to pull over to work with them, so they're not targeting him. And now I see almost no scenario where Nicole doesn't slide through to the final 3. Who's coming after her? Yeah, she's in a great spot.
Yeah, Cody's keeping her. Memphis is keeping her now because Memphis is going to think she's a goat.
Yeah.
And they're going to want Christmas out, and they're going to want Enzo out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Nicole's not Christmas's target. She's not going to be Enzo's target if Enzo gets turned on. Yeah, might be looking at the first 2-time winner. Sorry, Dan. It's Nicole.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be almost poetic justice that this shit show produces Nicole as a 2-time winner?
Well, she needs the money. Let's be honest.
She want to get another job.
We started the podcast worried about her wedding, and we've talked our way into that wedding being paid for.
Didn't
CBS pay for Jeff and Jordan's wedding?
They did.
Well, I see them indirectly paying for this one.
Through the prize money, yeah.
I don't think we're getting a network special out of it, but I think.
Yeah.
We don't like you two nearly as much, but here you go.
One of you we really don't like at all, and we don't like TMZ for reminding people why we don't like you.
And Victor has been so quiet. I haven't seen him tweet anything.
Smart.
Smart. I mean, here
wasn't he an influencer too?
No, he's a police officer, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because remember, he had long hair, and she got him to cut his hair.
But don't you get to influence by proxy?
I guess, yeah.
Okay, well, I guess he's not doing any of that.
But so he's been quiet. I mean, all season, even from before the show, even once they announced the cast, even I haven't seen one single thing from him.
There you go. All right. So Ronnie, who's your pick to win right now? I mean, I think Zack has talked himself into a Nicole F win.
No, I don't think she's going to win. I think Memphis is going to win.
I agree.
Wow. Hey, my good friend Memphis. Hey, I got a story to go along.
If only you hadn't shit talked him a bunch, he might buy us a bunch of sushi. So.
He still is. My good friend Grandpa Memphis is going to buy us lots of stuff. It's going to be good.
I think the final 2 will be Memphis and Cody. And I think Memphis will get Tyler's vote. I think he will get Christmas's vote. He will get. I bet you he gets Davon's vote. Because Memphis will admit his moves. That's why I'm saying this.
Yeah.
Memphis will admit his moves. Memphis will say, I cut who I had to cut. I did what I had to do. It was nothing personal. It was just game.
He's been direct all season.
Yes. I think he will get Ian's vote. Memphis will get Kevin's vote 100% in that final two because Cody has just been too personal with Kevin. Kevin will be burnt.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I think Memphis has played a better game than Cody. So I think he'll do that. I think David votes for Cody, though. David doesn't want to vote for Memphis.
That makes sense.
Ronnie, are you trying to tell me that my commission T-shirt that I've sold 3
It's worth crap.
Is what?
It's worth crap.
Oh. But are you also reinstating the fact that at the beginning of the season when I chose to make a shirt and the first shirt I made for the season was a commission T-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Did I pick the final 2?
Yeah, because that's what was set up by Dan and Derek even before they started.
Well,
I think that was an easy bet.
They didn't tell me to make the shirt, but
I know, but I'm just saying us watching, know, I mean, that's the other thing. How the hell did these people not know, Dan's number 2 and Derek's number 2? They should be. They would have been. All season long we've heard, well, they're an obvious pair. Well, they're an obvious pair. Well, they didn't pick the most obvious pair of all the pairs.
Yeah.
You're right.
I would have been on that like within nanoseconds.
Well, Ronnie, you too can get the shirt at johnnyfairplay.com. And don't forget, with every T-shirt purchase, you get a phone call from me, Johnny Fairplay. And starting on Wednesday, there is 20% off. When you go to johnnyfairplay.com, you'll see a pop-up, and it tells you the password to save 20%. Don't forget, with every T-shirt purchase, you get a phone call from me. Get that commission shirt. You can join me and 2 other people that went along with me. We also
or have a soul and get the Howie's Bigfoot Diaries shirt if you're a big Howie Gordon fan. That T-shirt kicks ass.
I was at Rainbow in Oregon. I think it was the last year they did Rainbow, and we went on a Bigfoot hunt with Howie.
Oh, that's awesome.
Did you see a Bigfoot?
There was someone dressed as Bigfoot.
That kind of goes again. See, because Howie says he doesn't actually see. Well, he sees orbs of light that become Bigfoots. So, did you see an orb of light that turned into a guy wearing a Bigfoot costume?
You know, honestly, I've been drinking wine.
Okay.
Everything's a little fuzzy.
As are most of the descriptions of Bigfoot that Howie has told us about before, after the orbs.
Man, I miss Howie. He's awesome.
He is. We all love Howie, and get your Howie Bigfoot shirt at johnnyfairplay.com. But honestly, wait till Wednesday. Get 20% off. Starts at 1 p.m. Eastern time, noon Central. There you go. So, Ronnie, what do you have to plug? Where can they find you? What is going on?
I'm on Twitter at Ronnie Talbot. I have an Etsy shop now called Nerdtacular where I sell. And so it's sold out of things right now, but I got some new items I'm putting up. I make all kinds of things inspired by pop culture, everything we nerd out about. I make tumblers inspired by nerd things, decorations, you name it, all kinds of random things.
Awesome. So, well, go check out and support Ronnie. Ronnie, thank you so much. I mean, I haven't seen you since Vegas. It's been
a long time. I'm glad you asked.
It's been a very long time. I'm so stoked that you joined us. I think we, as you said before the show, we made this more exciting than the actual episode, and I think that's pretty. I mean, like we got.
I had way more fun.
Yeah, I mean,
yes.
I'm not going to say who said this. Well, actually, it was some dude.
It's actually some dude.
He's some dude. Some dude writes, "I stopped watching the shows and just started listening to podcasts to keep up." And well. You picked the right place to come. I think we had a ball with this one, and Yeah, let's hear it for a Kaser win at the end. I get what.
God, wouldn't that be funny? And the winner, Big Brother 22, is Kaser. What?
We let America vote. Enjoy.
Yes.
Yes, there we have it. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Zach.
Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Summer's here. It's crazy hot outside. We all know that you should drink more water. And by the time you feel thirsty, it's too late. You're already dehydrated. You can't focus and you feel tired.
Drinking enough water is critical for a healthy lifestyle. It increases your brain power and boosts your productivity. It prevents headaches and increases your total focus. Not only that, it improves your skin and mood. It helps your digestion and it gives you energy. It prevents bad breath and can even help you lose weight.
Holy moly, this is the dating cure of if I've ever heard of one. But how much water should you drink each day? 10 cups, a gallon? The good news is it doesn't have to be that complicated. And that's why I start my day with Hydrant, because Hydrant helps you hydrate faster.
What is Hydrant? Well, they've created a refreshing electrolyte powder that you mix directly into water to more efficiently and effectively hydrate your body. It hydrates you quickly and keeps you going for longer.
Each rapid hydration mix has the 4 essential electrolytes your body needs: sodium, potassium, magnesium, and zinc. And it packs a punch to help your body hydrate fast and stay hydrated.
And if you're looking for that extra boost of energy, there's also Hydrant Plus Caffeine, which contains 100 milligrams of caffeine, all from green tea.
And Hydrant is backed by research. The formula was developed by an Oxford scientist. It's also loved by pro athletes like yourself, Jonny Fairplay. Oh yeah, did I mention first place in the men's masters in my last 10K? That's right, thanks to Hydrant. Top performers, celebrities, and thousands of 5-star reviews.
It's made with real fruit juice powder. It's delicious and refreshing and comes in a wide variety of flavors, including new summer-friendly iced tea lemonade and fruit punch.
I'm loving the fruit punch, but I go back to the blood orange. That's my favorite. And winning a 10K thanks to Hydrant is all the proof I need.
Not only that, though, it's also backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee. So if you don't love it, send it back for a full refund.
You really need to try it for yourself to see what I'm talking about. It tastes incredible and it works.
Hydrant starts at just $1 a packet for a 30-day supply, and you can save even more with the monthly subscription. But Jonny, tell them what kind of special offers we've got for them.
We got a special deal for our listeners right now. Save 25% off your first order. Huge, 25%. Go to drinkhydrant.com/survivor and enter our promo code survivor at checkout.
That's drinkhydrant.com/survivor and enter promo code survivor for 25% off your first order.
drinkhydrant.com/survivor, enter promo code survivor to save 25%, and we thank them for sponsoring the Survivor NSFW.